Hey guys, so for the Module 8 assignment, the resistance training program I chose to write for is for a college-aged wrestler. And all this is going to be done doing a horizontal loading style. So we're performing all exercises, each set, one right after. So we're performing one exercise, 2-3 times through, and then moving on to the next body part. So we're not going in circuit fashion. We're doing, multiple set system, but in a horizontal loading fashion. So the first exercise we have in the stabilization phase is simply a push-up off the floor. So pretty self-explanatory. Down here, push-up. And from the front, down here, try to get that chest right above the floor, have the client look down. Sometimes people teach head up, but it puts the spine in an unnatural position. So try to keep the head and spine nice and neutral. About 15 repetitions of those, going through those twice. Next one, we have a one-arm dumbbell row. I know this isn't listed as a stabilization exercise in the book, but I believe when you keep an even foot stance, it requires a ton of core stabilization, so I think it could be considered a stabilization exercise. So when you're here, be hard to see, but I have my feet, rather than a staggered stance position, I have my feet nice and even. I got my weight on my toes. Weight comes forward over the straight arm of the bench. Back nice and flat, very minimal shoulder movement. Drive that arm up. And again, my back's not arched, I'm not rounded. But I'm here, my knees are nice and bent. Drive that arm up. From the other side. And that's the one arm dumbbell row. Even there, you can feel a lot in the core. So that one, you're performing 12 each side. For the next one, we have a one-arm shoulder press. So you can do this in two ways. You can either perform one at a time, holding an isometric hold in another arm, or you can simply do one dumbbell at a time, let the other one rest. So to start off, have them perform the dumbbell with nothing in the other hand. Then you'd switch. And you see from the back side, making sure the client isn't arching their back. Core's nice and tucked in, nice and stabilized. Keep those shoulder blades down and back. And that's the one arm overhead dumbbell press. For our biceps, we have simply a single leg dumbbell curl. So we're here, performing curls with two arms. Rather than keeping them the palm supinated the whole time, I like to start off with them facing in and then curling up. Performing 10 there, switching legs, performing 10 repetitions after. So those are your single leg bicep curls. Another one for the triceps. This one isn't listed in the book, but I think it's a good one. Simply, instead of a one-arm tricep extension, you can make it a single leg exercise. You switch arms, you switch legs. Make sure we're not moving at the shoulder, just bending at the elbow, flexing that tricep at the top. Hitting about 15 of those each side. For our lower body, we got a lunge to balance in a sagittal plane. So we're reverse lunging, like so. Bend that back leg, toe doesn't come forward over the knee. And then we're driving up, focusing on that balance. lunge backwards, drive up. And that's the lunge to balance sagittal plane movement. And then finally we have the single leg deadlift. This can be done with no body weight if it's a beginner, and they'll feel this. All you're doing is keep one leg slightly bent. Leg that's going up in the air, I like to keep nice and straight. Reach forward with one hand or two hands, doesn't really matter. Back's nice and flat. Whole body moves as one. Make sure you get that back leg up. We're not rotating our hip up in the air. See it from the side, front view. You might feel a stretch in the hamstring on the leg that's down. Feel it working. Come up. And now when you're performing 15 each side. And that's the stabilization phase for the resistance program.